Hello and welcome back to Logan Sounds Off. Today I'm doing another album review on a U2 album actually. This is my first U2 album review that I have done, and this is the Joshua Tree. And a lot of people will know the Joshua Tree as an amazing album. The Joshua Tree is brilliant. It was released in 1987. The members were Bono, who sang the vocals, The Edge, who played the guitars, Adam Clayton, who played the bass, and Larry Mullen Jr., who played the drums. The record company who actually produced or made this album would be Island. And I didn't have many Island album reviews apart from Frank by Amy Winehouse until I'm reviewing it now. And then this is actually a small little fact. Some people may not know this, but if you get the album and the LP, I don't know, would it say on Spotify about it? Probably not. But in the credits, you see at the bottom, to the memory of Greg Carroll, 1960 to 1986. I don't know who Greg Carroll is, so I think it will be very interesting to know. So if you find out about him, please let me know, because I don't know who he is. Obviously, he was 26 when unfortunately he passed away, which is quite sad, but there it is, a small little fact that you may not know. Another little fact, I've got a bunch of these for you, so get used to it. This was mixed by Steve Lillywhite. So, for those who don't know Steve Lillywhite, he is a mixer who obviously mixed this album, and he is a producer. And he produced The Crossing by Big Country, which is an amazing album. Obviously got a 5-star in my album review. You should definitely check that out and buy it off whatever record company you do buy your records off, because this is an amazing album. See it in a charity shop, get it. See it anywhere, get it. Because I promise you, it's amazing. Anything that Steve Lillywhite has worked on is amazing. And that'll give you a little clue of what I think of this album. Also, this is their 6th studio album. So on the side of the LP and on the top right hand corner on the back of the LP, it says U2 6, as in U2's 6th album. And on Rattle and Hum, it has it as well, where it has U2 7 on it, which is obviously a similar kind of thing. But for a 6th studio album, they haven't lost it yet. This is one amazing album. When I pulled this out from my shelf of LPs and I looked at it and I saw the track list and I saw who made it, I saw the members, I just went, yes. I knew this was going to be good. And I've never probably looked at an album and went, wow, this is going to be good. The only other time I have ever done that was with The Crossing by Big Country. So I am so happy to do this album review, because there's a lot to talk about on this album. First of all, Where the Streets Have No Name. It's a brilliant song. Everybody will know this. Every single U2 CD that anybody's made, the best of, that's going to have it on it. Any U2 compilations, that will have it. Any bootlegs about U2 will have that. Probably half the concerts will have Where the Streets Have No Name. If they don't, it's not the greatest concert in the world. But there you go. Where the Streets Have No Name is amazing. I loved the guitar in this, so well done to The Edge. He was amazing in this. I found that in a lot of the songs, The Edge was brilliant playing the guitars. And then also, I loved the synth at the start. So, for something you should know, when you're looking at an album, always look at the credits, because you get these tiny little things of information. For instance, the drums, the keyboards, and the outboard equipment was by Yamaha. So that's another little fun fact for you. And then you've got I Still Haven't Found What I'm Looking For. This is played all around the world. U2, in my opinion, are probably one of the most successful Irish bands across the globe. And the thing that I like about it is it's for the right reasons. They're not bad, they're actually quite good. And that's something that I rarely say. And that is really powerful vocals. Then like saying that, Bono has a very powerful voice when he wants to use it. I just wish he'd use it a bit more. It has some cool effects in it, to be honest. It's a bit, I like U2 and I like this album, but this album's kind of eerie, but in a cool way. It's got little kind of tiny effects that are just put in throughout the song, just dotted at the end, at the start, in the middle, all across the song. That I really like. And then you've also got With or Without You. Again, 3 iconic songs. It starts off brilliant, like all the U2 songs, with then a lovely, simple bass. That is what I like. And then it smoothly fades into itself. It doesn't have that, it's got the simple bass and then full meltdown. It slowly goes into itself, and I really like that. A lot of bands find that hard to do, and they try to do it and it doesn't work out for them. In this case, U2 did do this and it did work out perfectly. Then you got Bullet the Blue Sky, which is definitely one of my favorites on this album. A lot of people wouldn't actually agree with me when I say that, but Bullet the Blue Sky is my favorite song, and I think it's one of the best songs on the whole album. And for what? There's 5 songs on side 1, and then there's 6 songs on side 2. That's 11 songs. Out of those 11, with Red Streets Have No Name, I Still Haven't Found What I'm Looking For, With or Without You, Red Hill Mining Town, I picked Bullet the Blue Sky. It's a very good song. And it's got an unusual start, which I quite like. And it's weird in comparison to the first 3 songs, which I kind of think, because it changes things up a bit. Because if every single song on that was like the first 3 songs, don't get me wrong, it would be brilliant, but I like the way they changed it up a bit. Then you've got Running to Stand Still. I like this because it was a nice, subtle finish to such a great side. My favourite side by far on this album was definitely side A. Now, going on to side B. The first song is Red Hill Mining Town. Nice sliding on the guitar, so again, credits to The Edge for that. That was brilliant stuff. And it starts off side B perfectly. Now, I've said this in past album reviews about it actually needs that. Albums need to start off brilliantly and finish really good, because if somebody starts on, let's say, the first song on side 2 and I didn't like it, that would put me off side B. So the way that it kicks off nice, I think that's a very good quality to have. A lot of bands have it, but in this one it just felt like it clicked. So I quite like this, and I don't think I can say any more about it because it's really weird to kind of comprehend some of the songs and the instruments they're using. It's kind of like you're trying to unfold secrets of the album or an onion and you're trying to peel off the layers. There's lots of layers on this album, and that's what I quite like. Weird, I'm comparing the Joshua Tree to an onion. Then you got In God's Country. I really like this song. The lyrics were amazing. I really, really like the lyrics in God's Country. And also, it's definitely a fave. So there's 2 favourites. Bullet the Blue Sky and In God's Country. There's 2 that I didn't know before I actually started listening to this album. So that's what I like about this album. All of the songs are great. Then you got Trip Through Your Wires, I loved the harmonica in this, and I loved the guitar. It's such an amazing song. This would definitely be one of my favourites, because when I was listening to this album, I literally put the needle on Trip Through Your Wires first. I didn't put it onto Bullet the Blue Sky or In God's Country. I put it onto that. And then you got One Tree Hill. Question for you guys. Is it to do with the Joshua Tree, One Tree Hill? I actually don't know. And that is something that I was kind of confused going, is it about the Joshua Tree? Because if it was, they kind of should have called it the Joshua Tree. But I don't know. So you'll have to let me know, guys. It's got some cool keyboards and it's intriguing kind of. The keys really hook you into the song from the start, which again is a very good quality. Then you've got Exit, which I thought was the last song, but no. Mothers of the Disappeared is. Yeah, I know, it's a lovely name. But Exit is harsh, but in a really good way. It's kind of gritty, and I like that. I quite like that it's powerful, and it's more harsh, and it's more kind of hardcore, but I like that. In a weird, twisted way, I like that. Then you've also got Mothers of the Disappeared, a brilliant finish to a brilliant album. So, there's the track list done. Thank God. Then we're going to start talking about the album cover. So for those who don't know what the Joshua Tree album cover is, it's basically just the Joshua Tree wrote in tiny letters at the top, and just the guys standing in the corner of a photo that stretches across the thing where they're in front of a plane, but it's shortened down that it's wide, but it's not tall. And it's quite an iconic album cover. And there's another cover of this, which is just shows the Joshua Tree as a kind of an animation, but it's gold and it's really bright. I think that's a deluxe edition or some kind of re-release, you know how it is, but it's amazing, this album cover, and I quite like it. I really enjoy it. Because when you pull it out, you go, oh, what's this? And you start looking at the track list, and you go, wow, look at this. I like that. I think that is a very good kind of thing for this album to have. And then again, as I was saying, U2 hook you from the start. And then in the end, you're going, oh, I wish it was longer. That they keep you on your toes, and they keep you hooked. This kind of baits you into kind of listening to the album. And it should, because the album is amazing. And that's why I am rating it a 5-star. And I don't think any of you will agree with me unless a couple of you hate U2. Because I know anybody who's a fan of U2 definitely would agree this is a 5-star album. So thank you so much for listening to my album review today. It must be fun listening to me ramble on. I hope you've enjoyed listening, and I'll see you in the next album review. Goodbye.